Again, my name is Lee, and I am from the Food Bank. Our job is to acquire and distribute food across a network of over 115 nonprofits in Montgomery, Greene, and Preble counties. So I'm here today to kind of change the status quo. I love being the last speaker because I'm kind of blow some things up today for you, hopefully, and give you a few tips that we use at the Food Bank to make giving approachable for all people. My bio does say that every donation makes a difference. I really believe that. My team, which a few of them are over there, I think they really believe that. They better. Oh, I hit my mic already. Lord have mercy. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that today. Sound good? If you have any questions, just raise your hand, shout them out at me. I will repeat the question back and then answer it to the best of my ability, all right? Let's get rolling. All right, you guys, so this is this great team I get to work with every day. There's actually 32 of us. A lot of people don't like their photo taken. And I brought this slide because I wanted you guys to look at all these fundraisers. So if you are a fundraiser and you've been doing this for a while, or a board member or an ED, you probably know that everybody in your org is responsible for fundraising, right? We're told that, we preach it day in and day out. At the Food Bank, that's important, but if you're a fundraiser, you should also play an active role in the mission of your organization. So at the Food Bank, you have to spend 2 weeks on the floor with the warehouse, buy-in, trust, working with them, really understanding the heart of our mission. And so if you're not doing that as a fundraiser, I encourage you to do so. Get out there, talk to the people, hand in hand. You want them to help you. They want you to also understand what they're doing. So I put that up there just because I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. So a large group of smiling fundraisers. Okay, so I wanted to break down what we're going to talk about today. Instead of focusing on major gift donors, does everybody know what a major gift donor is? Yeah? We all have different variations of what we determine as a major gift. For us at the Food Bank, it's a donor who has given $5,000 or more in their lifetime. That's really achievable for some donors if they've been giving to you for some time. Other donors come in with a one-time $5,000 gift. Those donors are great. They're important. We did an RFM analysis recently, and I can really tell you we haven't done anything with it yet because I'm really overwhelmed with the data. But I'm loving it, and we're really excited. So that does work. And Charles talked a lot about that. So I highly recommend it, especially if you have no budget to really analyze who your major gift donors are. But what we do really well at the Food Bank is working with our minor donors. So we're going to help you today define who your minor donors are, tell you a little bit about how you can work your minor donor base, and some things that you can take home or take back to work to make giving approachable for these minor donors. Sound good so far? Cool. Okay, so who are your minor donors? So I want you guys to take a few minutes, if you already know who your major gift donors are, and just write that amount down on a piece of paper. Again, for us, it's $5,000 over a lifetime. For you, it may be a one-time $1,000 gift, might be $500. You may have absolutely no idea what that is, but spend some time maybe thinking about that. Cool. So we all know who our major gift donors are. Then I want you to consider this. As many as 50% of your active individual donor base are actually minor donors. Those are donors who are giving $25 2 times a year, $100 once a year, $500 maybe once a year. 50% of your active donor base is doing just that. If you're not talking with your minor donors, that's an awful term. I didn't really know what to call them. So if you're not talking with your low-level minor donors, you really should be talking with them. You should make them feel important, special, and loved. We heard a little bit today about how you need to talk to your major gift donors differently. I believe, and the Food Bank believes, that you should do the same for your minor donors. That's hard when you're a one-man shop or a small team. So hopefully today I have some things for you that you can easily accomplish speaking with your minor donors. Everyone familiar with Giving USA in that report? It's an amazing report. This year, it told us that 70% of all giving in 2018 was from individuals. Already talked about that a little bit earlier today. How much time are you spending cultivating these donors? So jot down maybe a few things that you're doing to cultivate your individual donors or your minor gift donors. Maybe you are soliciting them through direct mail. Maybe you're calling them to say thank you. What are some things that you're doing? Anybody have an example of how they're talking to their minor gift donors? Their annual donors they give? Yeah.
Whenever someone gives us a donation, we have an email series that learn more about the organization. Thanks again. Now you're going to be on our regular list, and we'll stay in touch with you. But it's pretty immediate. You're a big deal to us.
I love that. That's perfect. Anything else? Yeah.
Agricultural workers, they get $85, and that's probably the largest number. They get a Passport ADR's membership, which is buy one, get one free ticketing from all the folks that we turn around and give grants to. So that is every 2 weeks of what's upcoming. So it's not a thank, I mean, it is a thank you, but it's more than formative pizza. Here's what we're up to.
A value add, maybe? Yeah.
We always, when we send the thank you, I track who they've heard about before, because we always send them a success story. We call them love stories. So it takes some time, because I'm tracking for people that have given several times. It's like, oh, you already heard about Roller and Fluffy, and then, so, but they, you know, a lot of them have written back and said, oh, this is just so meaningful to hear about what happened with that family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. How many of you are hand signing every thank you note? Oh, you guys are my people. I mean, every thank you note. If I give you $1 tomorrow, would you hand sign my thank you note? I gave Close at Work $10 the other day, and Cindy hand signed my thank you note, and I kept it. She's amazing.
So, question,
Yeah.
maybe I missed this when I was out there giving office, but I do a lot of my thank you notes email electronically, because then I can link them to one of the videos and they can see a family. So I can't hand sign that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that okay?
So what I would recommend for that is if you have the ability, I'm assuming you have like a standard template for that email, add something else in there. Hey Sue, great to see you the other day. How's your cat Fluffy doing? XOXO. Don't put that hugs and kisses in there, but
I don't know.
yeah. But if you learn to,
We're changing up the story that they.
that helps as well. Absolutely. That's almost not the problem, but the difficulty with electronic communications. It feels a little impersonal. Some people do feel that way, and some people are okay with it. And so you might even consider doing a handwritten thank you note every once in a while, or setting a limit. Yep, you do? Perfect, yeah. So this person has given to us 3 times now. I'm going to do a handwritten thank you card. Just say thanks, you know, and come take a tour, or come see us, or whatever it is that you're doing. All right, the next thing I want to ask you all, I'm assuming all of us in this room have given to a charity at least one time, no matter what that donation amount is. What does a one-time $25, $10, $5 donation mean to that donor? We have a saying at the food bank. We have a lot of donors who will give us $1 every week. I don't know, they pay the postage, the 50 cents to mail it in. They stick a $1 bill literally in the envelope and send it off to us. And why that's important is because they're continuing to think about us. And that $1 adds up. $365, you know, a year if you give every day, or $52 if you give every week throughout the year. So what does that donation mean to the donor? It's more than just the transaction. We talked about the warm and fuzzy feel-good feelings of actually giving money. It's a little bit more than that. What does that mean to the donor to take that off? We probably all have some donors who are living on fixed incomes, right? Maybe they're seniors who just have a limited amount of money to spend each month. And so what does that money actually mean to them? What are they not getting because they gave to you? So once you kind of adjust and have that mindset, you'll start to see the value of every single dollar that comes into your organization, no matter how big or small that it is. All right, so here's a couple examples of, I love the guy on the left, that's Mike. A couple examples of minor donors and who they could be. They could be volunteers. This is Mike. He's been with the food bank for, how long has he been coming to us?
Forever.
My whole life. A really long time. I've been at the food bank for almost 7 years, and we see him come in all the time. He doesn't even say hi to us. Well, he kind of does. He walks by and does one of these and just walks back to his volunteer job and gets to work. And it's funny for our staff because we're like, well, Mike, we want you to do something else today, but he knows what he's doing. He has a vested interest in the organization and really wants to spend time with us. He does give some money as well. And so I love that connection that he comes and sees us almost every day, and then also gives financially to us. Annual donors, the donors who give $25 to $100 maybe at an event one time. Maybe you went to the Artemis breakfast and gave a donation one time, and maybe that's the only donation that they will receive from you, but you may be a key target audience for them when they're working their minor donor base. So just as one-time donations, someone said something about memorial gifts earlier. Everybody looks at that differently, but that may be a key audience as well. But I would definitely use discretion when you're working with those types of donors. Event attendees. They're having a great time. I really want to go to that party, whatever that is. They're a prime example as well. If your event is including something that is very mission focused, you can work that event attendee list. One thing I want to caution, so at the food bank we started, hold on, this might be my next slide. I'm going to jump around a little bit for you guys. Okay, at the food bank we started Do Good Date Night. We started this maybe a year and a half ago, and our first Do Good Date Night we had bang up attendance. I think it was like 40 couples, so about 80, 85 people showed up. And we got all their email addresses, and they came, they had a good time, paid I think $25 for a ticket, they could volunteer, they could eat with us, and do a fun activity at the food bank. And then I said to our staff, so what are you doing now? And they're like, I don't know. So we had all these email addresses and all these people who had never been to us before because they couldn't volunteer from 9 to 5 because they're working families. They don't think that they can make a $100 gift and that's what they deem as valuable. So these are key people that you can continue to work with. These are your minor donors that you want to wrap up into your donor base. So what could you do with these people? Perhaps you could invite them to more relaxed and fun events. Perhaps you could wrap them into your monthly giving program. And welcome packets are something else I'm going to talk about. I'm sorry to keep jumping around, but I just wanted to get to that point because I was already on that track. So just keeping in mind those people who are just seeing you once, maybe twice a year, and the impact that they can have on your overall giving. Okay, so monthly giving programs. Anybody have an established monthly giving program? What? Awesome. Okay, so monthly giving, we find to be very impactful because you don't have to think about giving, right? That sounds really counterintuitive if we talk about the warm and fuzzy feelings about giving. So what we have started to do at the food bank is we have identified a list of $25 to $100 donors who give just one time a year, that annual gift. And we have 3 different ways that we can ask them to become monthly donors. We've included a checkbox on all of our remit envelopes that says, you'll see it here in a second. There it is. Yes, Michelle, that's our CEO. I want to feed hungry people. But I understand that hunger in our community is a year-long issue. I'd like to provide ongoing support. Please charge my card blank until blank or indefinitely. And we keep that on file at the food bank. Every time that donor makes a donation, they don't always receive a paper tax receipt, but they'll get a phone call from us. Hey Bob, just processed your monthly gift donation. I want to let you know, to date you've given $100 and that provides 600 meals to feed hungry families in need. We really appreciate your support. If you want to come back and see us at a mobile farmers market or come visit our drive-thru, we'd love to have you. I will leave that on people's answering machines because people don't answer their phones. Yep. Sometimes we'll do a tailored ask. So if we have a donor that's been giving $10 once a month, maybe we'll talk to them, $10 once a year. Maybe we say, okay, did you know that if you gave a monthly gift of $10, you provide 720 dinners for hungry families in our community? How amazing is that? $10. Most people have the capacity to continue to give $10. It becomes kind of like one of your bills, like a daycare bill, but not as hateful. I hate paying my daycare bill. A daycare bill, a day and power and light bill, contributing to your retirement account, right? It comes out before you really even know it and you're contributing to the community. And then all of a sudden at the end of the year, you've done this. You've done such a great and impactful thing. We also have an online e-newsletter and we also run social media campaigns to encourage monthly donors. Jessica, I'm sure, has lots of great ideas on the ways that you could do this, so that's her expertise, not mine, so I'm sure she's got some good ideas she could share with you guys about that today. There's a lot of benefits to monthly giving programs. Sustained giving throughout the year. All of us have cycles of giving, right? So for us at the food bank, okay, a tornado hit, that was something strange for us, but usually during the summer, giving is low, it's down, it's stagnant, nothing exciting is happening. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, right? So everybody has their own cycle of how giving goes. If you're a small nonprofit, that can be really difficult to get through some of the months where there's not a lot of donations coming in, right? So this is a sustained way for donors to give. It's a sustained way for you to continue to receive the donations that you need to fulfill your mission. Network for Good tells us that the average monthly donor gives $624 a year compared to the average annual donor of $128. Guys, that's a lot of money. What would you do? I don't do math. What would you do with your $504, right? A lot. So if you're not doing a monthly giving program, I really encourage you doing so. If you have a direct mail program, this is a great place to start. This is where we started. Just adding that little checkbox on your donation remits is really important. You have to, though, make sure that you're watching the remits, right? So get buy-in from your team. I don't know who's opening the mail at your organizations. I don't know if you use, a direct mail vendor that processes your donations for you as well. But talk with those individuals and let them know that you're doing this, and so that way you can keep an eye out for it. Any questions on monthly giving yet? No? Nothing yet? Okay. So just a recap. Imagine a fundraising campaign that's sustained throughout the year. Less speculation on the outcome of direct mail campaigns. Imagine a donor remembering you 12 times a year, because that does get debited out of their account. I'm constantly checking my bank account to see what my husband bought and telling him he shouldn't be buying that much on Amazon or spending $20 at Taco Bell, right? So we check our bank accounts constantly. So they're going to see this donation and continue to come out and think, oh, I just gave to the food bank. And then if you follow up with a phone call and leave a message and say, hey, thanks for that $10 gift that provided 60 meals, and they listen to that before they sit down for dinner, what? Right? It all's a little happenstance, but it really matches up and makes a big difference. Also, imagine fostering stronger relationships with your donors who become advocates, stakeholders, and champions for your work. Everybody loves to say, I do this. Oh, I donate to the food bank. Oh, I donate to Crayons to Classrooms. Oh, I donate to this organization. Everybody wants to own that, right? So this is a great way for people to say that they do that and friend raise, if you will, and bring new people into that cycle of giving. All right, so I told you guys a little bit about the Do Good Date Night, party at your nonprofit. So this is an alternative to like the gala type of concept. So how many people, and you can close your eyes and I'll just look at who raises their hands if y'all want, but how many people have skipped out on going to a gala or other type of event because the ticket was too expensive or you felt uncomfortable going? Okay, so open your eyes if you're closed. Look around. A lot of us, right? And we do this work day in and day out, so we know how important these events are. And nothing against them, but they're not approachable for everybody, right? If you have a child or if you have an elderly parent that you're caring for, you have to pay for care for them while you go out to that gala for the evening. You have to maybe pay for a new outfit. I'm going to an event with a donor and I was telling my table, I have no idea what to wear. And I'm in this business day in and day out. So these types of easy and affordable fundraisers we have found to be a great way to friend raise. So do you have a fun space? So a lot of you have some warehouse space, Habitat. You guys have some space, right, through the Restore. Really cool old building, especially upstairs. Right, who else has like a warehousey or a fun space, right? Arts do a really nice job of this. Where are you from?
Therapeutic Riding to Spring Valley. What?
Yeehaw, I'm coming on down. Sorry to drink that water. Right, so if you have a really cool space, sometimes people just want to be invited. They want to be in that space. They want to see what it's like. And they don't want to pay $200 to come and see that. So for us, we found a really nice way to tap in. We'll have a fun event going on. We'll feed you. Sometimes you can get that food donated. Don't forget about that. Calling up City Barbecue and asking them maybe for a discount on that food. And have some fun events. So for us at the Food Bank, we've done everything from playing Hungry Hungry Hippos Food Bank style. If you Google it, you'll find it on YouTube. This spring we'll be doing Build a Garden Bed, a family-friendly evening in our garden, actually building garden beds to help feed the hungry. So any of those things you can kind of tap into. Cleaning out a horse stall, right? Okay, that's not a lot of fun, but right, who gets the chance to do that sometimes? Not a lot of people. So be thinking about those creative and fun ways to engage people and invite them into your organization. I see you laughing back there. Do you clean out horse stalls? No? Okay. So invite those people into your organization to come and have fun and just a great evening out with you, right? Charity and giving should not be difficult for the donor. It should be something that's fun, engaging, and easy to do. It's not just for the wealthy. Giving is not for the wealthy, y'all. Not only for the wealthy. It is for the wealthy, not only for the wealthy. I talked a little bit earlier about those email addresses. So that's what's key here. You have those fun events. It's not about just having the party. After you have the party, what do? So for us, we've been trying to collect email addresses because that's something we don't have enough of at our food bank. We do a great job with direct mail. Direct mail can be a little costly, so we're trying to get email addresses in. And then we email them. We say, oh my God, thank you for coming to this great event. Here's a couple photos from the event, or here's a video of you all looking crazy playing Hungry Hungry Hippos and having a lot of fun with us. Oh, and here's what you did, because you also volunteered packing backpacks. And you did 4 pallets of backpacks, which was 80 meals for children, and they're gonna get them this Thursday. And that email maybe will go out on Wednesday. So just trying to connect what they have done with you at that event. It's not only about saying, okay, you gave us this much money to do this. Okay, you came in and did this much volunteering for us, and you were able to accomplish this. Just making that connection for people. Sometimes we'll offer discounted tickets for the next event, and then all of a sudden we add these people to our e-newsletter. Or if we have their addresses, their mailed newsletter. Newsletters for us are a really soft ask. It's all about, here's what the food bank's doing that's fun, impactful. Here's some cool things we want to tell you about. Oh, here's a donation remit envelope. If you really want to give us a donation, you can give us a monthly donation as well if you like. So we add that piece in there, and it's not as intrusive, right? It's something that you can say, oh, I had a great time at the food bank. I want to give them $10, and I want to see what they're going to do with that $10 and how they're going to talk to me in the future. So all about just getting these people into the door. Follow me so far? I know it's getting late in the afternoon. I'm sweating up here. Oh, I forgot. Caitlin or Emily, can you pass out? I have a clipped packet of stuff.
Yeah.
So Emily is our grant writer, and Caitlin's our development manager, and they're amazing. So they're going to pass out to you guys our welcome packets. Anybody sending out welcome packets to new donors? No? So this is something I did not come up with. I wish I was that smart. I stole it from another food banker. So some of us, if you especially operate a direct mail or online giving campaign, you'll get new donors, right? Sometimes a tornado will take out your community and you'll get new donors. Sometimes, I don't know, there'll be a ton of rescued horses and the people see it on the news and all of a sudden you'll get new donors. So when these new donors come to you, it's one thing to give them a thank you note and your CEO sign it and say thank you for this donation of $25 to support hungry families. It's another thing for that to be followed up with a monthly giving packet. That's a lot of fun. So what you're going to see is a sample. I'm sorry it's not in color. I don't have the color code at work. That's for a reason. What you're going to see here is our monthly giving packet, if you will. It's normally printed on 2 pieces of paper. I just did back and front to be a little eco-friendly here. I sign this and I write this coming from the development team, not from our CEO. And it says, "Dear amazing donor who just gave us $25," or your name. And I tell you what you've done with the donation that you just made. And I'll switch these bullets up depending on what goes on. When the tornadoes hit the Miami Valley, one of the first bullets on there was providing emergency food assistance for people whose homes were damaged in the Memorial Day tornadoes. So it's important to keep these updated every time you do them. I run this every month. It tells people, there's no ask in this, that's important as well, right? Because we've already thanked them with a thank you note, and then we're giving them this. It's the next step. What can you do next as a new donor of the food bank? It says enclosed you'll find links to our social media pages, a Hungry to Help toolkit, which is what you see on this other back-end page, with numerous volunteer opportunities and fun swag from our team. We have stickers at the food bank that are really fun that I like to stick in here. Sometimes, thank you for letting me borrow that.
You're very welcome.
Sometimes I'll stick, I'm a jar opener. If you buy stuff for CFC, you have a ton of swag, right? So if it's easy and simple and I have leftovers, I'll go ahead and slide it into that envelope as well. I'll hand sign every single one of those, put a real postage stamp on there. I can't say that enough. And if the postage stamp is mission focused, even better. For a while we had scratch and sniff postage stamps. Fun story, they were popsicle. Then I got frog stamps that were not scratch and sniff. I told everybody you scratch and sniff them, they smell like frogs. A lot of people fell for it. It was a lot of fun. We like to have fun, that's for sure. So this is basically a good way to hook them in. What else can they do? Can they come to a tour? Can I come to a tour of your warehouse? What is all this about? You know, what are you doing? Can I come see your farm? Can I come see, I don't know, your the Schuster Center and stand on the stage. I mean, there's 1,000 different things that people think that they can't do because it's out of their grasp, it's out of their realm, it's out of their reach. They don't give enough. They're not wealthy enough to have these types of experiences that are simple, if not free, for all of us to do. So that's what this is all about. Can they attend that event? Can they get a sneak peek at something going on? Maybe, I'm trying to think of something fun you could do. So maybe you're getting ready to open an addition to your building, right? And you're going to have this great big unveiling at it, but you want this new person, even if they gave $25, to come and see that. Maybe you just want to, hey, take a tour. Oh, here's a sneak peek of our drive-thru as well. We're getting ready to open, and show it to them. Anything can be impactful to anybody. Good so far? Did everybody get a copy of those? I only made 100. Okay, so if you didn't, I'm easy to find, and I'll be happy to email that out to you. So I do process these once a month. And I found them to be helpful. And sometimes in what we do, it's kind of tireless, right? We call, we email, we handwrite, and we never hear back from the donor. So I had this great experience that this donor, she almost makes you want to cry. She got picked up through a donor acquisition mailer. This may be my, 4,000th month sending out donor welcome packets. She got a welcome packet, wrote me a check for $10,000. Not me, it was the rest of the food bank. But I about fell out of my chair, y'all. I opened that and I thought, oh Lord, and it was a little shaky, and that's usually a sign for someone maybe a little bit elderly signing the check. And so I called her. I said, Charlene, this is Lee at the food bank. I know you don't know me. Thank you for this great gift. Did you mean to give us $10,000? She said, I sure did. And I was like, okay. And she said, because you cashed my check, and because you sent me this packet, and you didn't ask me for money again. So she gives us $10,000 now every year. Sometimes she'll ghost me for a month, and then I'm really calling her and knocking on the door. But she does. She delivers every single month, or every single year, I'm sorry. And that's astonishing to me. $10,000 to $10,000. Donors are watching, you guys. They want to see what you do and how you treat them with that little tiny gift. Right? I have goosebumps. I love me some Charlene. I also love Adele. So hello, it's me, your welcome packet. All right, guys, so I feel like I've talked a lot. So is there anything I can tell you a little bit more about? I'm not a hot dog. My son is. He's much cuter than I am. We shared a couple ideas amongst the groups. If you have any other ideas or suggestions on how you work your minor donor base, or if you have any Charlene stories, the $10,000 to $10,000 donors that you want to share with us, or if you have an idea of how you are going to implement a minor donor program at your own organization, I'd love to hear it. Yes?
Question, because in your welcome packet you offer the tours of the warehouse. How many people take you up on that, and do you find that, are you just responding individually each time, or do you have like once a week there's a tour and they can come to that tour?
We respond individually,
Okay.
Customized, based on schedule. I don't hear it back enough, right? Like I said, this is kind of thankless. But then I have the Charlene's, right? And she didn't need a tour. She did actually finally come for a tour, which was a really great and fun experience. But every once in a while, so I would say maybe on an average, maybe 3 people call. Of those 3, maybe 1 will follow through with an actual tour. Sometimes they just want to know, right, that we're listening and that we're going to answer. You're welcome. Yes?
Your $10,000 story, we had a lady who I knew that she had an interest in a means, and she was all those things that you want, and she always just nailed in $5. Well, years ago, somebody told her to keep getting a newsletter from our organization. There was a $5 membership fee or something. So she just kept sending in $5, and finally I thought, this is crazy. So we had a project when we were looking for $10,000, 5 or 6 $10,000 gifts, and I thought, I invited her to come in for a tour, and then while she was there, I said, does this interest you at all? And she said, well, you know what? A lot of people our age travel, we don't travel, so yeah, I'll do it. Like it was no big deal.
Everybody hear that? Yeah, isn't that amazing? That's a great story of how someone just wants to be invited, just to be involved, right? I almost feel like I'm like a little kid when I talk about this, and how sometimes, you're banned from the cool crowd or the mean girls, you can't sit with us, only wear pink on Wednesdays, right? But like people, we're adults, I think, and we all want to be involved and included in something. And I love that story. Thank you. Yes?
Talked about the Do Good Date Day.
Yeah.
How did you market that opportunity and kind of make it available to people to get involved in something, especially being there was a new initiative? How did you bring people into that experience?
That's a great question. So Do Good Date Night is actually trademarked and owned by a couple that live in Florida. You can use it for free though. So we called them, this was not my idea, this was, if you know Sean Mitchell, our volunteer manager, he's the coolest guy ever, wears a bow tie, bald. That's how he would describe himself too, yeah, I see a lot of nods. He found this idea, and so he called them, he said, I want to do this Do Good Date Night, what do I need to do? And they said, nothing, we'll help you market it as well. So they give us the logo, they market it on their own Facebook page, which has an okay following, their own website, and then for us, we went in on the back end, we did everything from Living Dayton. If you're not scheduling to be on Living Dayton, I know you guys do frequently, but if you're not on Living Dayton, you should be calling them and asking them to be on the show every once in a while, bringing your cute animals.
Or every other week.
Right, it's amazing. Ride your horse in, whatever works. So, I'm having too much fun with this. So we did Living Dayton. We of course did our Facebook page. We also did giveaways. So we did like a fun fact of the food bank, like answer this story on social media or guess how many watermelons are in this bin, get a food bank t-shirt that says let us turn up the beat, and tickets to our Do Good Date Night, which whoever won that as a couple invited their friends, who sometimes invite other friends. So it's really just kind of a chill, fun event. The first one we did, bang up attendance. Second one, okay, still good, we didn't sell out. And attendance kind of dropped a little bit. Then all of a sudden we did virtual reality. There's a company called Lucid, and so we thought, let's bring virtual reality in. I had never done it, it was amazing. They came in, I think charged us $70 to do it. We had an amazing attendance then. So just kind of tapping into those weird niches, right? And inviting those folks to come in and do a fun activity while you also have the people who are visiting volunteer with you and have some food. We found pretty good traction in that. You're welcome. Wine in the warehouse events, I mean, that's a very similar kind of concept and example. Pay $25 for a couple to come in, eat some cheese, have some wine, you know, tour our site and get to know us a little bit. Really easy, approachable, fun way to give back. Any other questions I can answer? Yes?
What would you recommend for a small nonprofit that doesn't have designated staff for development and communications? What are some places to start when not the bandwidth, especially at the staff level, to do that personal engagement?
Yeah, so you'll be shocked to know I've been there. The food bank, when I started 7 years ago, it was myself and one other person doing development. And I don't even know, it was awful, right? We learned a lot from that. So what I would recommend if you have a small staff and minimal budget, I'm trying to think of some things that we did back in the day. Hand signing thank you notes, I think, can be a good start if you're doing thank you notes already. Phone calls also, I'm just talking about donor relationships, if that's okay. Calling donors. I will schedule a time on my calendar, usually Wednesday, because by Wednesday I've had enough coffee, I'm awake, I'm good to go, and I'll spend an hour just calling a couple donors and saying thank you, right? Thanks for your gift. So starting with that. So there's small, not very time-consuming things that you can kind of do to build up to that. Sometimes I've also worked at places where they have an associate board who is a big bunch of young people who are not quite at board level. I don't know what that even means, but they're young people who want to be involved, right? Everybody wants to serve on a board. It's like competitive. How many boards have you served on? So inviting them to come and be on a committee for you to make some of these phone calls or to plan some of these Do Good Date Nights. I think that can be helpful as well. Did that help answer for you? Yeah? Does anybody else have other ideas on how you can, yeah?
We don't have birthdays for everybody, but some months I'll take like everybody's birthday that's in that month, and I'll do like a happy birthday email for that month. And it's quick and easy, and but we don't have everybody, so
Yeah.
it doesn't touch everybody.
So happy birthday emails. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Did I see another hand somewhere? Yes?
I just say, like, for continuing the theme from what I was talking about before, sometimes it makes sense to take a little time to figure out what can be passed off to others, volunteers or board members, because oftentimes we get in that process and it's like, oh, well, this has to get done right now, so I can't stop. But sometimes it actually is more worth your time to stop, train some other people to do something, and then take those things for the longer term off your plate.
Totally.
To spread it out a little.
I completely agree. That's great advice for me especially too. Yeah, not very good at that.
Eat that frog. Talks about your frog stand.
Eat that frog.
That frog totally
Yeah. I don't eat frogs. I just sip them. Any other questions or ideas you guys want to share? Very good. Well, thank you for letting me come up here and speak with you a little bit today. I hope you guys have a great Friday.